𝐒𝐞𝐭𝐫𝐲. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, Kathleen O'Neill, along with Bruce Smith, as we invite you to 2 hours of Irish music, news, and announcements on Detroit Irish Radio at 𝐶RBradio.com. The call-in number is 313-942-0159 for those of you that have requests or news to share. We also can be found down at the Gaelic League, located at 2068 Michigan Avenue in Corktown, Detroit. We are here in the lounge area back by the fireplace, and today is the opening game for the Lions, the Detroit Lions. Go Lions. And we're welcoming you to come down here. There is, the game is on the big screen in the hall, and it looks like they have a bit of food as well. So if you're looking for something to do today, perhaps this is the place. And also, a little reminder, you can listen to this program on 𝐶RBradio.com or on the Gaelic League of Detroit.org website under the radio page. And of course, you can always just click on Detroit Irish Radio at Facebook and listen to this program. You can also listen at your convenience later, as they will all be archived there as well. And just a little shout out to our friends on the Green Wave. 12 hours of wonderful Irish music from Friday evening through Monday afternoon. We start off Friday with the Friday Night Falcha with Bobby Brooks on 𝐶𝐞𝐭 Radio, as are all of these, from 4 to 7 p.m. Matt O'Donnell is hosting the Emerald Express from 1 to 4 every Saturday afternoon. This morning we had Johnny Costello with the Rebel Rooster from 10 until noon. Bruce and myself are here from 1 until 3 today with Detroit Irish Radio. And we follow up tomorrow with our good friend that got it all started at 𝐶𝐞 Radio Broadcasting, and that is Patrick Johnson with the Irish Music Cafe from 4 to 6 p.m. All of us make a point of promoting Irish music and news, and today we started with our good friends Bua. As was mentioned last week, in this group it includes our good friend Sean Gavin. Well, Sean and his friends, who are a quartet that got together in Chicago, playing some of Chief Francis O'Neill's music and making a great collection of this, have come out with a new album. And the new album in English is A Shelter from the Rain. So we played the first cut from that, and it's Johnny Henry's and Stay Another While. Yes, stay a while. You're going to hear all kinds of wonderful music today and news. As we are into September, we're calling this a September mix. We got a variety of music and a variety of, or I should say, a few new releases and lots of news to share about that wonderful County Oakland Irish Festival that happened both Friday night and yesterday. So we're going to feature some of our local entertainers as well. But first up, we must not forget that today is September 11th. 21 years ago, there was tragedy that hit American soil, and thousands of people were killed by this terrorist attack. So we're going to play a few songs to remember and commemorate all those loved ones that were lost, many of them that were of Irish descent, many of them that were the first responders in New York, and we'll be talking about it throughout the show and with some of these various songs. But I thought we'd play a local artist, Kitty Donahue. She wrote this song. She actually ended up being part of a documentary, and she also sang it at the Pentagon for one of their memorials in remembrance of this day. The song is There Are No Words. And then we're going to follow it up with our good friend Endon Riley. And this is just a short little track from his latest album, which is about Yeats and or Yeats poems, and it is "He Wishes for the Cloth of Heaven."
There are no words, there is no song, there is no balm that can heal these wounds that will last a lifetime long. And when the stars have burned to dust, hand in hand we still will stand, because we must. In one single hour, in one single day, we were changed forever, something taken away. And there is no fire that can melt this heavy stone, that can bring back the voices and the spirits of our own. There are no words, there is no song, there is no balm that can heal these wounds that will last a lifetime long. And when the stars have burned to dust, hand in hand we still will stand, because we must. All the brothers, all the lovers, all the friends that are gone, all the chairs that will be empty in the lives that will go on. Can we ever forgive, though we never will forget? Can we believe in the milk of human goodness yet? There are no words, there is no song, there is no balm that can heal these wounds that will last a lifetime long. And when the stars have burned to dust, hand in hand we still will stand, because we must. We were forged in freedom, we were born in liberty, we came here to stop the twisted arrows cast by tyranny. And we won't bow down, we are strong of heart, we are a chain together that won't be pulled apart. There are no words, there is no song, there is no balm that can heal these wounds that will last a lifetime long. And when the stars have burned to dust, hand in hand we still will stand, because we must. There are no words, there is no song, there is no balm that can heal these wounds that will last a lifetime long. And when the stars have burned to dust, hand in hand we still will stand, because we must.
Had I the heavens embroidered cloths, and wrought with golden and silver light, the blue and the dim and the dark clouds, of night and light and the half-light. I would spread the cloths under your feet. Could I be poor of only my dreams? I've spread my dreams under your feet. Tread softly because you tread on my dreams.
All right. That was just a little bit of Endon Riley, but we look forward to featuring him. And just a little exciting tidbit we learned when he was here a few weeks ago on the show that Aoife Scott is in concert this Wednesday, and Endon Riley will definitely get up and play. Well, he set a set, but we'll see. Regardless, we're very fortunate to have so many talented musicians in this area. And if you listened to the program last week with Chris Spilker calling in about the County Oakland Irish Fest, it was everything that Chris had said it would be and more. A little warm yesterday, and there was spots of rain every now and then, but there was a nice breeze and there was fabulous music. And it was so nice to see so many of our local musicians. It's kind of like a little reunion. I know we had the big Motor City Irish Fest, which is priceless, but we enjoyed this. Was just more of like a street fair, you know, just a few blocks with people wandering up and down.
Forwarded to an automatic.
Oh, it looks like we might have a phone call right now. So let's, before we get more into,
Not yet.
oh, Bruce is going to say, I have a minute, but before we get too much into our music and the street fair and that, I shouldn't be saying street fair, it's County Oakland Irish Festival. Just a little tidbit, what can we say about this 9/11, because we're going to give another little tribute that there were so many people that were lost. It says 2,996 deaths, which included the 19 hijackers and 2,977 victims. There were 4 planes involved. Even the chaplain of the New York Fire Department, Franciscan Father Michal Judge, died trying to assist his worker. Well, I shouldn't say his worker. He was part of the fire team that were going into buildings as they were trying to rescue people. But with that, we are going to take a moment because we have our good friend Porrick Egan. We didn't hear from him last week, so I'm sure he's full of all kinds of news this week. How are you, Porrick?
Yeah, great, Kathleen. Hello to you and to Bruce and all the listeners out there. Yeah, kind of a somber day, actually, when, September 11th. So, Kathleen, traditionally, this week, these weeks, September, are the finals of the football and hurling in the All-Ireland. In fact, that was the case in 1927 until this year when they played in July. But Park, GA headquarters, is not empty these days. In fact, this weekend and next weekend, we're going to have 400,000 people or so going through that most iconic Irish stadium. So you're probably wondering why they have 400,000 people coming through.
Very interesting, yes, I'm wondering.
So the reason being is American superstar Gareth Brooks playing 5 concerts at Croke Park this weekend and next weekend.
We're losing you.
So there you go. Superstar Gareth Brooks is to be popular in Ireland, and 5 concerts were sold out in 2 days. So,
Perk, you know what? We're having a little bit of hard time hearing you.
Sorry. Can you hear me, Kathleen?
Oh, better yet. Yes.
Okay, sorry. Well, anyhow, did you hear about Gareth Brooks? Anyhow, Gareth Brooks is playing in Croke Park for this weekend, next weekend. 80,000 fans each concert. We're looking at about 400,000. Now, when you consider the population of Ireland is approximately 5 million, then the fact that 400,000 people are attending the concert is kind of incredible. So it won't be necessarily a GA event, but it will be an All-Ireland event. There's about 100,000 of those tickets were purchased by people from Northern Ireland, so it'll kind of be a United Ireland type of concert. To give you an idea how popular the singer is in Ireland, in County Monaghan, for instance, 1 in 4 people are going to attend that concert.
That's amazing. Now, is this his first time there? Because I think I saw something that Ireland is everything that he dreamed of and more. Is this the first time he's been to Ireland?
No, he's stayed there in the past. No, he's very, very popular over there. No, he's stayed there in the past, but not for a good number of years. And anyhow, it's not really Gaelic football used, but actually playing in Croke Park, and you know, a great event. Obviously, it's very popular outside Dublin. I think only about 15% of that crowd are coming from Dublin, so it'll give you an idea of how many people are coming from the countryside Dublin there from the other counties. So don't worry, Kathy, I'm not going to ask you to play a Gareth Brooks song or anything.
I don't have it prepared for today anyways.
So back to GAA matters, and the GAA Club Championship is going on throughout the 2 counties, of course. It seems like endless games and results the weekend. And when you consider there are 200 clubs in the country, I expect not too unexpected to have so many results. Because the actual inter-county competition is already over, the clubs are getting this undivided attention. And many people in the GAA community are full praise of the season. So most of the competitions right now are at the quarter-final, semi-final stage. And Kathleen, if I was to start giving you results from all these games, I'd take off the rest of the show. But I will give you, I'll give you 7 results. These are just an idea of what's going on, and give you the name of the counties and the club. So in Antrim, you had Portugal and Owen beat Gurtnamona, Carlow, Éire and Og over Ballinabrena, Clare, Smilebridge beat Clonlara, in Derry, Banagher beat Saudi, Fermanagh, Inally, Brian Baru over Rosslea Shamrocks, Leitrim, Ballinamore, Sean O'Heston beat Glencar, Mara Hamilton, Offaly Road beat Verban, and so on and so forth. So that's what's going on in all these clubs throughout the country.
That sounds very interesting. And how long will this go? Through the end of September or into October?
Oh, no, Kathy, we probably won't have county finals for about maybe three weeks to a month. And after that, it'll go into the provincial club championship and eventually on to the All-Ireland final. So we're probably looking into middle of November at least.
Oh, that far. Okay. Well, good. You'll be able to...
In other words, you might hear from me again.
Yeah, I was going to say we're going to hear more from you. That's wonderful, Park. We always enjoy your calls and the news you share. And when you throw in concerts at Croke Park, that's relevant as well.
Well, so Kathy, when you have all these games, there's always a great need for referees. And anyone who's ever been at a GAA match, or any sporting event, know that the referee is simply the most popular person. Again, they're often the most talked about person on the field, and it's usually not in praise. And 3 weeks ago in Roscommon, County Roscommon. There was a very unsavoury incident at a game there where the referee actually sustained an injury from a spectator. And so very justifiably, the Roscommon GAA referee committee withdrew its services for a week. And as a result, all games County Roscommon were postponed, and they said, hey, this isn't going to happen anymore. In fact, the referees committee put out a statement and it said, referees are central to sport and participation in our communities. Our games cannot happen without them. A very strong message must go out that there will not be any abuse of officials and will not be tolerated, and referees must be respected and protected in all sport. So finally someone has kind of stood up and said the referees can't be just verbally used and so on, have been over the years. The little bit of refereeing I used to do myself, I used to always go to the game early, say hello to everybody, because when the game was over, I knew I had to get out of there. There wouldn't be any friends on the sideline.
Oh, you're very funny. Funny but a wise man, right? Yeah, so.
Well, I think that's the kind of news. It's obviously September 11th and, a somber day in the United States. Actually, like it's really an attack on humanity. Maybe if you have any 9/11 songs, that would be a nice maybe tribute to that commemoration.
Well, I will, and I want to say for those of you that hadn't heard the show this morning with Johnny Costello, he started his show in that manner and had a few different ones, and I'm happy to share with you one that Sheila Maloney has passed along, and that you yourself, Port Keegan, has given one that we may be playing at the end if we have time, but this one was written by Jerry Grennan from New York City, and the vocals are Dickie Donnelly from Ireland, and everyone should recognize the music written by Phil Coulter. It's Irish September 11th tribute song called The Towers I've Known So Well, and it's kind of reflective of the Statue of Liberty, is kind of who the towers that they knew so well. So thank you, Port Keegan, for all that you do, and yes, we will be hopefully seeing you Wednesday for the Aoife concert, or Aoife Scott concert, right?
Oh yeah, no doubt. It's a concert well worth going to. We've been there a number of times, and it gets better every time we see her. All right, Betsy,
all right.
Taking the call.
Yep, thanks. God bless. And now let's have a listen. The Towers I've Known So Well.
In my memory, I will always see the towers that I have known so well, where they stood so tall, where the world would call through those gates to the stocks opening bell. Going to work all those days, some were bright, some were gray, walking past St. Paul's and turning on Broadway. They were the constant pair in the downtown air, the towers I'd known so well. On that September morn, the water ferry's horn called the people from all around the boroughs and beyond. A cab sparred with a truck, and then it tried its luck with a city bus that rushed along the road. while the engine 10 teams drank their coffee, shared dreams, Lady Liberty cried her silent warning, watching the plane coming in, such a crime, such a sin, and hit a tower she'd known so well. One brother was struck, we thought it was bad luck. The engine 10 teams ran to stop the burning. The Green Lady watched in the sun, screaming still they should run. But alas, she could only watch the horror as the second bird flew into twin number 2, and we all were just frozen in shock. Mortal wounds to the pair, the whole world stopped and stared at the towers we'd known so well. We watched the pain in the flames, we watched such desperate games, we watched as all the city crews ignored the danger. We watched and we cried out our heads as they died, the twins and the thousands inside. We watched into the night, our hearts seared by the sight, where the twins had fallen, their ghosts stood tall as ever. Their rising souls heard our cries, they gave us weeks long goodbyes to the towers we'd known so well. We rebuilt with a will as she watches us still. Our spirit was bruised, but it was never broken. Liberty cannot forget, and our heart is now set on tomorrow and peace once again. For what's done is done, and what's won is won, and what's lost is lost and gone forever. Now every year on that day I pause and I pray for the towers I've known so well. For the towers I've known so well.
Just a few other additional facts. The victims were overwhelmingly male, about 75%, and about 75% were born in the United States. So there were, people from all over the world. The deaths of adults who were killed in the attacks or died in rescue operations resulted in over 3,000 children losing a parent. It had a significant impact on the United States and world markets. The stock exchange did not open on September 11th and remained closed until September 17th. In New York City, about 430,000 jobs, months, and $2.8 billion in wages were lost in the 3 months after the attacks. Also hurt were small business in Lower Manhattan near the World Trade Center. 18 1,000 of which were destroyed or displaced, resulting in lost jobs and their consequent wages. Also, thousands of tons of toxic debris resulted from the collapse of the Twin Towers, contained more than 2,500 contaminants, and subsequently many debilitating illnesses were made among the rescue and recovery workers, as well as residents, students, office workers in Lower Manhattan. And there were many Irish that were victims of this event as well, this terrorist attack on 9/11. So let's keep in our thoughts and prayers all of those families that were affected, all of us that were affected. This tragedy should ever happen again, and that we as people will remember it and never forget. And here we have different songs to remember it, 9/11 by, and keep those people in our thoughts. With that, let's go back to a happier time, such as yesterday, with the County Oakland Irish Fest. It was a nice event, and congratulations to those who put in the many, many hours to make it happen. In particular, the Spilkers, Peggy Spilker and her sons, Dan and Christopher, helping to line up all that entertainment, and to Bridget and Tim Linehan for getting the vendors together, and for those vendors that were out there meeting and greeting people. I went out and it's part of the Gaelic League table, and it was just fun to see so many people stopping by and happy to be out and enjoying a nice day. So congratulations. We're looking forward to many more fun events. Let's see what's happening here. Well, let's go with birthdays for starters. Labrahana to those celebrating birthdays, including Tuesday, Peggy Feely, Wednesday, Jesse Anaya, John McElmeal, Megan Riddle, and Tracy Woodcock all celebrate their birthdays. Thursday is Kenny Stevens, and Saturday, Karen Kelly. So very happy birthday to all of you. And as far as anniversaries, the ones that I have are today. Andrew and Pauline Reddy are celebrating 18 years of marriage, and Brendan and Roxanne McNulty are celebrating 30 years of marriage tomorrow. So congratulations to them, and on I think that's it for this week. Actually, did I jump ahead a week? I did. So I guess there weren't any anniversaries this week.
She looks over at me as if I have the answers.
I've lost track of the date. Well, no, this is the 11th, so I did jump a little bit too far. This week, we have on Thursday, Tom and Patricia McClary, 66 years of marriage. Congratulations to you two. And on Friday is Sean and Joni Kavanaugh, 5 years, part of McSpillin. And those that are celebrating anniversaries next week, you'll hear your names again next week. But congratulations to all of you. How about we go into a couple more songs? And here we're going to feature many of our local artists, starting off with the Spilkers with the group Odd Enough. This is one from many years ago, looking forward to hopefully new recorded version, as very seasoned musicians, singers, and just stage presence. Joy to watch you in action. The song is Black Velvet Band by the group Odd Enough. And then we'll follow it up with our good friend Terry Murphy, and this is on an album of his with Terry Murphy and Billy Dixon, who he did play with this yesterday as well. The song is Whiskey, You're the Devil.
In a neat little town they call Belfast, apprentice to the trade I bound. And many an hour of happiness I spent in that neat little town. When a sad misfortune came on me and caused me to stray from the land, far away from me friends and relations, to follow the black velvet band. Her eyes, they shone like the diamonds, you'd think she was queen of the land. With her hair hung over her shoulders, tied up with a black velvet band. As I was out strolling one evening, not meaning to go very far, I had met with a frolicsome damsel, working her way through the bar. When a watch she took from her customer and slipped it right into my hand, and the law came and put me in prison, bad luck to the black velvet band. Her eyes, they shone like the diamonds, you'd think she was queen of the land. With her hair hung over her shoulders, tied up with a black velvet band. Next morning before judge and jury, for trial I had to appear. And the judge, he says, young fellow, the case against you is quite clear. And 7 long years is your sentence, you're going to Van Diemen's Land, far away from your friends and relations, to follow the black velvet band. Her eyes, they shone like the diamonds, you'd think she was queen of the land. With her hair hung over her shoulders, tied up with a black velvet band. So come all ye jolly young fellows, I'll have you take warning from me. And whenever you're full of the liquor, my lads, beware of that pretty colleen. She'll fill you with whiskey and porter till you are not able to stand. And the very next thing that you know, my lads, you've landed in Van Diemen's Land. Her eyes, they shone like the diamonds, you'd think she was queen of the land. With her hair hung over her shoulders, tied up with a black velvet band. Her eyes, they shone like the diamonds, you'd think she was queen of the land. With her hair hung over her shoulders, tied up with a black velvet band.
Whiskey, you're the devil, you're leading me astray, over hills and mountains and to America. You're sweeter, stronger days, until you're spunkier than tea. Ah, whiskey, you're better than drunk or sober. The brave boys are off for marching off to Portugal or Spain. The drums are beating, the banners flying, the devil on will come tonight. It's low, fare thee well, when me tedry had a diddle-um-a-da, when me tedry had a diddle-um-a-da. When the rifles are a ladia, there's a whiskey in the jar. Ah, whiskey, you're the devil, you're leading me astray, over hills and mountains and to America. You're sweeter, stronger days, until you're spunkier than tea. Ah, whiskey, you're better than drunk or sober. Now the French are fighting boldly, men are dying hot and coldly. Give every man his flask of powder, his firelock upon his shoulder. Low, fare thee well, when me tedry had a diddle-um-a-da, when me tedry had a diddle-um-a-da. When the rifles are a ladia, there's a whiskey in the jar. Ah, whiskey, you're the devil, you're leading me astray, over hills and mountains and to America. You're sweeter, stronger days, until you're spunkier than tea. Ah, whiskey, you're better than drunk or sober. Says the mother, do not taunt me, don't take me daughter from me. For if you do, I will torment you, and after death may ghosts will haunt you. Low, fare thee well, when me tedry had a diddle-um-a-da, when me tedry had a diddle-um-a-da. When the rifles are a ladia, there's a whiskey in the jar. Ah, whiskey, sweeter, stronger days until you're spunkier than tea. And whiskey, you're better than drunk or sober.
All right. We did have the opportunity this past week to go out to the Ancient Order of Hibernians Hall to see a wonderful concert by the All Folk Up group. And you'll be hearing more of their music as well, because I was able to purchase a CD live at the marketplace. But very energetic, very talented, and very enjoyable. We encourage people, when we do have these different groups coming into the Detroit area, to be supportive. You're not only supporting the organization and group that's putting on the event, but you're supporting all this talent and encourage them to continue to share the music. And so I thank the AOH for putting on that concert, and just a little reminder that they have resumed their fish dinners. So you're welcome to come on out to the AOH every Friday night for a great meal. The doors open at 5. Meal is served from 5:30 to 7:30, and there is some entertainment that goes along with it. Maybe not this weekend, but normally there is great music as well. The fish dinners are $14 a piece for adults, children $6, all you can eat, fried and baked fish, fries, coleslaw, and a roll. Once again, let's be supportive of those that help to preserve and promote our Irish culture. And just a reminder, the AOH is located on 5 Mile Road between Beach Daly and Telegraph in Repford. Talking about concerts, there's a big event happening this coming Wednesday with our own, we say own, Aoife Scott. Aoife is actually from Dublin, but first time she traveled to Michigan, she did come to the Gaelic League and has returned faithfully every time she's near here. She is returning this coming Wednesday, September 14th, for a wonderful concert before she goes off to the Michigan Irish Festival in Muskegon, which is happening this coming weekend. Ticket prices are $25. You can purchase them on the website, and if you do, there is an additional service fee. Or come down to the Gaelic League. As I mentioned earlier, the Lions game is on the big screen in the hall, and there is a little bit of food set out for folks that would like to come down and enjoy the game and the friendship and the refreshments. But you can purchase your Aoife Scott tickets then. They're here at behind the bar. There will be food served from 5 to 6:30, with the concert starting at 7. And I do have a little menu of what's being served. There's smoked pork, potatoes, and coleslaw, or you can have beef sliders with mac and cheese. So those of you that don't feel like making dinner, come on down early and enjoy the meal and stick around for singer, songwriter, straight from Dublin, Ireland, Aoife Scott, along with her very talented friend Andrew Meany. And she is part of the legendary Black family, has traveled many places, a talent woman, and one of Bruce's favorites. Right?
Yeah, absolutely one of my favorite singers.
Right, so we're going to hear from Aoife. We're going to hear We Know Where We Stand, and I should make mention, her good friend and a great entertainer as well, helped co-write this song, and that is Endon Riley, and I did mention that he will be joining her on stage for a song or two. And then we're going to follow it with a selection of reels, and this is going out to all of the dancers, the O'Hare Flanagan dancer, as well as the Ardán Academy of Irish Dance, that are resuming lessons. I was in error. The Ardán Academy dancers will be coming back to the Gaelic League for lessons, but that's not going to happen until October 7th, the first Friday in October. The 𝐾𝐞𝐭 dancing does start, or will start, on September 23rd, and Anne McCullum's set dancing is starting up their classes on Mondays. So lots of things happening. So for the dancers, and I purposely picked Mick Gavin because Mick was very instrumental in bringing in Aoife Scott's mother, Frances Black, to the Gaelic League many years ago. And he was the one that really kind of helped welcome and embrace Indon Riley and took him around to various functions so that we got to know him. So we thank Mick Gavin for his contributions to Detroit Irish music as well.
Small little island that grows food, the bounty green, broken in despair as the hunger swept our country. On the edge of the colony as the ocean invites us to leave, drowning in emigrant waves, we flee. Voices that were singing, nameless but knowing who we are. In the shadow of politicians, we stand on the hill of Tara with our hurleys in our hands. We know where we stand. We know where we stand. The city on the Liffey with its pumping, pulsing beat, where the locked out workers, they took to the streets. And the post office burnt down in 1916. Did they know what their sacrifice would mean? Voices that were singing, nameless but knowing who we are. In the shadow of politicians, we stand on the hill of Tara with our hurleys in our hands. We know where we stand. We know
again, everybody. Give me a nice round of applause. Anthony.
All right, we're going to take a moment and say Abba Prajna Sanadini Ata 10 to all of those that are in need of prayers at this time, and hopefully you'll be feeling well and be able to come out to one of these many events that are being planned for the fall. On our list, we include Laura Bond, Judy and Tom Bruni, Bill Carney, Giselle Clancy, John Couture, Kitty Durbin, Brian Dunleavy, Bruce Farrell, John Finnerty, Bridie Flynn, Ed Foley, Mary Gold, Jack and Joanne Haley, Kitty Heinzman, Dave and Aaron Keem, Jane Jones, Ann Kerwin, Richard Lemke, Kevin Lessick, Rick McMurray, Richard McNichols, Patty Martin, Sean Moore, Bridget Murray, Gertie O'Kennedy, Father Dan O'Sullivan, Joe Parsky, Ann Purcell, Mary Ann Quinn, Teresa Roddy, Chris Scanlon, Mary Sheehy, Megan Tierney, Sarah Turner, Lexton Williams, Joan Wisely, and your family members and friends that may be in need of prayers at this time. You can always let us know if you want your name removed or if you want a name added by going to DetroitIrishRadio@gmail.com. You can email us or text us at 313-942-0159, or you can always leave a message with our good friend Mary Bongiorno on Detroit Irish Radio Facebook. Let's see, we want to also remember those caregivers, the doctors, nurses, and hospital staff as well. Well, I did make mention that the Ardon Academy is returning with classes here at the Gaelic League, but I didn't give you the information. If you're interested, check out Ardon Academy, ARDANACADEMY.com, or you can give a call at 734-762-0997. I also did mention that we have a concert coming up this week. We're just a little reminder that the Gaelic League Irish American Club is a membership organization, and so you are required to have a current membership card. You can purchase those when you come on down anytime. You don't have to wait for a certain date, or you can also join by going online. The membership dues for an Irish American Club member is $25 for the year 2023. Those memberships are already available, so you get a 15-month membership if you purchase now, if you're not a member, and then you have the privileges that a private club has. So keep that in mind. You can also bring guests with you, and you can find more out about the organization by going on the website and looking at the bylaws that are posted. So with that, we're going to go back and play a few more songs from our local artists. The next group is the Diggers. Sadly, one of the members, Bill Music, died earlier this year, but John L. Sullivan was out there yesterday, and hopefully he'll play the song that he played out there, remembering some of our loved musicians that have died recently, including Colin Page, who they gave tribute to on Friday night out at the County Oakland Festival. And then yesterday, remembering his band member, Bill, and then Larry Larson, who was a long-standing musician, entertainer at the Gaelic League, and we have a stage named after him. So, back to the Diggers and John L. Sullivan. He will be the main entertainer this coming Saturday for the Gaelic League's Halfway to St. Patrick's Day party. At this event, not only will you be able to enjoy John L. Sullivan, you will also be able to purchase some of the merchandise that we did have out at the festival yesterday, and also enjoy a meal. And the meal on Saturday depends on probably whether there's food left over from the Aoife Scott concert. I doubt it. But what's planned from 6 to 8 is corned beef sliders with chips and coleslaw, or you can have sausage with baked beans and pickle. So, and come on down. It's free night, and enjoy some great entertainment, and once again meet up with friends. So we're going to hear from the Diggers, Whiskey in the Jar, and then follow it with Johnny Manning. And hopefully some of you have gotten the opportunity to see Johnny singing the Irish National Anthem recently at Comerica Park for the Irish Heritage Night, and then and Grace Kruta singing the American National Anthem. Well, this time around we're going to hear Johnny singing The Mountains of Mourne. Enjoy.
As I was a-going over the Cork and the Kerry mountains, well, I met with Captain Farrell and his money he was a-counting. I first produced my pistol, then I next produced my rapier. Said, stand and deliver, for you are about to savor. Wish-a-ring-da-ba-doo-ra-ba-da, whack-ball the daddy-o, whack-ball the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Well, I counted out my money, and it made a pretty penny, and I put it in my pocket and I took it back home to Jenny. She smiled and she swore she never would betray me, but the devil take the women, for they never can be easy. Wish-a-ring-da-ba-doo-ra-ba-da, whack-fall the daddy-o, whack-fall the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. I went into me chamber just for to take a slumber, and dreamt of gold and jewels, and sure it was no wonder, for Jenny took me charges and she filled them up with water. Then she sent for Captain Farrell to be ready at the slaughter. Wish-a-ring-da-ba-doo-ra-ba-da, whack-ball the daddy-o, whack-ball the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. 'Twas early in the morning, before I rose to travel, up came a band of footmen, and with them Captain Farrell. Well, I reached out for me pistol, for she'd stole away me rapier, but I couldn't fire the water, so a prisoner I was taken. Wish-a-ring-da-ba-doo-ra-ba-da, whack-ball the daddy-o, whack-ball the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Now if anyone can aid me, it's me brother in the army. If I could find a station in Cork or in Killarney, and if he'll come and aid me, we'll go roving in Kilkenny, Well, I swear he'd treat me fairer than me darling sporting Jenny. Wish a ring da ba doo rubba da. Whack fall the daddy-o, whack fall the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Now some take delight in a fishing and a bowling, while others take delight with them carriage wheels a-rolling. I take delight in the juice of the barley and the pretty fair young women, oh, so early in the morning. Wish a ring da ba doo rubba da. Whack fall the daddy-o, whack fall the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Wish a ring da ba doo rubba da. Whack fall the daddy-o, whack fall the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar.
Oh Mary, this London's a wonderful sight, for there's people there working by day and by night. They don't sow potatoes nor barley wheat, but there's gangs of them digging for gold in the street. At least when I asked them, that's what I was told. So I just took a hand in this digging for gold. But for all that I found there, I might as well be where the mountains of Mourne sweep down to the sea. I believe that when writing a wish you expressed as to how the fine ladies in London were dressed. Well, if you believe me, when asked to a ball, they don't wear no tops to their dresses at all. Oh, I've seen them myself, and you could not in truth tell if they were bound for a ball or a bath. Don't be starting those fashions now, Mary McCree, where the mountains of Mourne sweep down to the sea. You remember young Peter O'Loughlin, of course. Well, he's over here now at the head of the force. I saw him one day as he stood on the Strand. He stopped all the traffic with a wave of his hand. And as we were talking of days that are gone, the whole population of London looked on. But for all his great powers, he's wishful like me, to be back where the morn sweep down to the sea. There's beautiful girls here, oh never you mind. Beautiful shapes nature never designed. Lovely complexions of roses and cream, as O'Loughlin remarked with regard to the same. That if those roses you'd venture to sip, the colors might all come away on your lip. So I'll wait for the wild rose that's waiting for me, where the mountains of Mourne sweep down to the sea.
Okay. We're not going to be dancing just yet or playing any music. Just want to remind everyone that another part of the Gaelic League Cultural Consortium that started back up is the Irish Genealogical Society of Michigan. They met yesterday here, and it was more of a help session. But you can find out more about them and join, because they have wonderful speakers. And of course, I have something handy here to share with you, but it won't be in this minute. But their email, or not, website, I guess it is MIIGSM. So it's like Michigan Irish Genealogical Society of Michigan, MIIGSM. @igsm.com. And they would be happy to have you join. It's very reasonable. $15 was for one person, but you get all these very knowledgeable people that are anxious to help share their knowledge with you to find out more about your family, and so they welcome you to come to it. Another thing that's happening now, this coming weekend, Friday and Saturday, is up in Traverse City. For those of you that live up in the northern area of Michigan, the Old Town Playhouse, an historic volunteer-run theater, is going to be showing the performance of Mrs. Kelly's Journey Home. And that's with our friend Brita Kelly, who, as a youngster, hung around the Gaelic League, and now has this fabulous one-person performance that has been done here. For those of you that would like to find out more, you can check out oldtownplayhouse.com or give the call of 231-947-2210. It's down in the Old Town neighborhood of Traverse City, and the performance is at 7 o'clock on Friday night. Actually, it's a special performance including a dessert reception in the lower level of the theater. And then on Saturday, it looks like it's a matinee at 1 o'clock. So check that out for more information. And then it looks like right now we have a call from, is that our good friend Sheila?
Yes, it is.
Oh my. Hi, Sheila.
Yes, it is.
Sheila Maloney, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well today.
Well, good. And I'm so excited because when we hear from Sheila, we know we're going to hear good news, for starters, I hope. But we want to also thank you for that song earlier today, the tribute to the victims of 9/11. And
well, that was actually from a gentleman. He's originally from New York, but he lived in Detroit for 3 or 4 years, and he played on the Detroit Irish Wolf Tones, the Wolf Tones Irish Football Club.
Oh, really?
And yeah, and but he used to work in Manhattan, so that was kind of like his life. So he wrote that, and so yeah, he's someone who used to frequent the Gaelic League, not ever as an entertainer, just as a patron.
Oh, I didn't know that. That Jerry Greenan is the one that wrote Grennan.
Yes.
That wrote
Yes.
this song was.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, isn't that nice? He fits into our local connections, right, of artists. So what other good news do you have for us?
Well, I do have the good news that next week we will be starting Pub Quiz again. It's like back to school for everyone because it's back to Pub Quiz.
Oh, I know. Isn't it fun? And I look forward to it. I'm sitting with one of the best players, and that is our good friend Bruce.
She is not telling the truth. Sheila, you know the kind of answers I turn in. So.
Oh, no. He is very, very smart. And the other smart one on my team is bartending today, and that is our good friend Tim Fix.
Now, there's an asset to a team.
Yeah, so I just blend in and eat the snacks and occasionally.
But you remember, the Pub Quiz isn't about being smart. It's about knowing something obscure some of the times.
It's shaking the garbage that's trapped inside.
So that's starting.
Yeah, you don't know where you pull it from.
Right, exactly.
Or why you remembered it. So you're starting up again next Sunday. Is it the usual format?
It definitely is, and nothing's changed as much as this world is ever changing. Right now, Pub Quiz has not changed. It's still $5. It's still up to 5 people on a team. It's still bring a team, or we'll place you on a team. It's still bring a dish to pass if you choose, but you're not required to. So I don't think anything's really changed. My dazzling personality is still the same too. Some of the questions might even be the same. It's we've been doing this. What is it? It's like 28 years. We had one every year, even through COVID. We managed to pull one out every year, so we have had one every year. But at this point, some questions are being reused.
Well, and that's a good thing if you have a good memory. It does
I don't know
nothing
if I
for
do,
me.
but that's what I'll remember. That's what I remember. How far you should keep a toothbrush from the toilet, 6 feet. Why I know that, I don't know. But I can't manage to. Anybody who knows me, I can't manage to take a turkey out of the oven on time. We just have barbecue turkey. So.
Oh gosh, I was going to say, is that going to be one of the questions that Bruce and I are going to have to remember for a week?
If it is, it's reused. That's how I know it.
Oh, too funny, Sheila. Well, we were certainly happy, and yes, this has been going on. I remember so long ago when you came back from Ireland visiting your sister and telling us all excited about this pub quiz, and it was like, Sheila, I haven't a clue what you're talking about, but if you think it'll work, go ahead and try it. And not only did you try it, but you have carried it on for 28 years or more, and have wonderful co-workers. It started off with you and Ellen Quinlevin, and I know that you've had different ones help fill in, but for the last number of years, it's been Marie Heinzman. And you put together a great team of questions, and it's just fun.
It is. And so just to be brief with that, for those people who don't know, because you might have a new listening audience now with being online and all, but I just want to tell people, like Kathleen just said, my sister had me go to one when I was in Ireland, and I didn't want to go. It was on a Saturday night, and I thought, there are more things I can do in Ireland on a Saturday night than go take a test in a pub. I said, oh, geez, I do not want to do this, but I had to. My sister was putting it on for the local school that my nieces and nephews went to, so I'd be a bad sister if I didn't go. I'd be a bad auntie if I didn't go. And it was actually the school that my grandparents went to, so I'd be a bad ancestor if I didn't go. So I had to go to this
guilt, huh?
So I had an out. I had someone coming to pick me up. I had an out. But the thing is when they came there to get me, I said, I don't have to go. You can leave if you want, or you can stay here, but I'm not leaving. This is great. We're having a great time. And I was playing with 2 people I'd never met before. That was the initial part of my team, because 2 other people on the team I did know, but they were behind the bar because it was so busy. Mm-hmm. As the little pub was just absolutely packed. And so I was playing with a friend's mom and another friend's boyfriend. So the 3 of us never really met before. We just sat there and had such a laugh at how we didn't know us answered any of the questions. And it was just fun because it was like one-word answers. And when you didn't know, you just panicked and said something, and it ended up being more of a comedy show than anything else. But we absolutely loved it and had so much fun with it. And that's how it crossed the pond over to Detroit anyways.
And you know what? That is the fun part of what we do here is everybody's welcome. You come if you want with a team of 5, or come on your own, because there's always a team that needs another person. And we have met and made a lot of good friends with a lot of people.
Definitely.
Yeah, because
and like I say too, and like I also say, it's not about winning. I, again, vividly remember one time you had 2 tables of Dwan's cousins playing. And you had one of your cousins stood up and looked over at your brother Jim and said, "You're going down, Jim, you're going down."
Yeah.
I think you guys were fighting for middle range. I don't think you were winning, and I don't think you were losing. It was about beating your cousins, beating the other cousins.
I was going to say, we just wanted at least a 1-point difference in the score.
So that's why we want everybody to come and try this out and enjoy it. It is a lot of fun. It's been going on for this long for a reason. It's a lot of fun, but it's not about winning. You get bragging rights. You get bragging rights and like a jug to sit on your table.
Exactly. So yeah, we don't mind that we don't win. We're just happy we're not in last place.
I don't think we ever even really think about winning, actually.
No.
Once we answer the first round, we go downhill from there. So.
Yeah. Or we say, okay, who wrote those questions? Was that Marie's or Sheila's round? So.
Yeah, that comes up a lot. And then when I surprise people and say, back in the day one time, I took it from my 5th grade kids' classroom or something, they'll go, oh. That's happened once or twice.
Right.
Took something like that, a teacher popped out. I'm like, oh, so you never know where these questions are going to come from. But again, to those of you who don't know, it's 10 rounds of 10 questions. So you bring a movie buff, you bring a geography nut, you bring a history guy, you make up a team.
Someone that knows sports, and then you have a sprinkle of Irish questions.
Yeah, we do need a person with Irish knowledge, yes.
Right. I mean,
it's handy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not about that. We do that because it's the Irish American Club and we're keeping it Irish, yeah.
Right. Music is good. If you know faces, that helps because you do picture rounds. But we appreciate all your efforts and look forward to it again next week. Okay, Sheila?
Alrighty, so just one more thing. I just want to say happy heavenly birthday to my dad today.
Oh, is it today?
So, yep, September 11th is Dad's birthday.
Okay.
102 today.
Oh, wow. Yeah, remembering your dad very well. So he would whistle and jingle his keys walking down along the bar to turn on the lights or check what was going on.
Check the heat, yeah. Check the temperature of the building.
Yeah. Very nice man. So.
Washing his eyeglasses with vodka.
Never thought of trying that.
Yeah.
Dad used to always do that when he walked in. He'd put a dab of vodka on a napkin and clean his glasses. He said it was the best cleaner he ever had.
Oh, isn't that funny? That's, yeah.
So go give it a whirl, Kathleen, and report back next week.
I will. I will do that after I'm done here, just in case it doesn't work well and I can't see the rest of the show. All right.
Be sore by it.
I was going to say lots of good memories of your father as well. So love to your mom and enjoy the day, remembering all of those. I mentioned how we enjoy, but remembering all our loved ones and those that died on this day many years ago, 21 years ago. For your dad, it was a little longer, but not 31, 32, maybe?
Yeah, his, not to be confused, today's his birthday. His anniversary is in May, yeah.
Right, okay, good enough. Thank you. See, this is why I need good partners for pub quiz. I get them confused. Oh, she didn't ask that. All right, talk to you later. Love you.
Okay, and we'll see you next week. We might see you today in a minute. Who knows? We never know what day this will bring us.
Okay.
So
we're here.
We'll see you.
All right.
Okay, but next week for sure, everyone, 4 o'clock. 3:30 really. Try to be for 3:30.
Okay.
4 o'clock, we're hitting the ground running.
Sounds good. That's a real good one. Let's start at 3:30. Okay. Take care, Sheila. God bless you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Sheila always had great ideas and still does, and it's always been fun. Well, next up, we are going to play a couple songs here and remembering her father, who was a past president and officer in different capacity, as Sheila has been herself, not president, but different office positions. And then we're thinking of him today and of those that have died on 9/11. We also want to remember a good friend, actually a very good friend of mine. I think it was the first or second time I went to Ireland. Mary Cullen, now Mary Agnes Cullen Bryan, was on that flight, and we enjoyed many memories growing up around the Gaelic League and working festivals, learning how to do ceilidh dancing, and enjoying company and meeting new people along the way. And in the last number of years, her daughters have become very active. They have been away and now back, but they have been doing Saturday brunches here. And God Love Mary was a big part of that as well, making wonderful pastries and remembering everybody's food allergies and something good for everyone. Has sadly died. She died on September 6th, this last week. And she was born here in Detroit. Her parents were Frank and Irene Cullen. Mary, as I mentioned, enjoyed many things. She sought out grand adventures, it mentions, and had traveled a bit as well. experienced many things growing up in Detroit, including the Detroit riots, the blizzards of 1974 and 78, and the rise of Motown. A very unique fact about Mary is we knew she worked for the phone company. Mary Cullen Bryan was not only a telephone operator, but she was promoted and became Michigan Bell's first female telephone, or part of the first female telephone installers. Mary climbed the poles. She did it all. And she had thousands of stories to share with you, as well as songs she loved. And we will all miss her. She is survived by her loving husband of nearly 40 years, and that is William, or Bill Bryan, excuse me, and her children, Peter and his wife Brittany, Kate and her husband Joe, Moira with her husband Pushbinder, and Delia and her friend Jay. She also has many siblings, including Chris, Colette, Frank, Gabriel, Rebecca, John, and her brother, I believe, Joe, that's deceased. So Mary is waked at the 𝐾𝐞𝐭 Funeral Home in Brighton tomorrow, Monday, September 12th, from 1 to 8 p.m. And then the funeral will take place on Tuesday at St. Patrick's Catholic Church in Brighton. The in-state at 9:30 until the funeral mass at 10:30. So we will be remembering Mary and playing a couple songs, but it looks like we got another call. This time it's our friend Kathleen Partika. Kathleen, how are you today?
I'm good, Kathleen. Very saddened to hear about Mary's passing, and looking forward to celebrating life with the kids tomorrow. But anyways, how are you doing today?
Oh, good. Very good. And you as one that not only set up but stuck around all day yesterday and tore down the Gaelic League merchandise table and all that went with it. How are you feeling today?
Very good. We had a little profit yesterday, so I was very happy to hear that. But we were received a lot of people with stories and sharing our experience with us. So it was really a delightful time for Janet and I to be there, as well as you and several other people. But it was a good day yesterday.
It was very, very nice. So I know you have, not living in the past. You are forever doing things. So what's coming up that you want to share with our listeners?
Well, I'm sure you already talked about 𝐒𝐞𝐭 Scott concert coming up on Wednesday. But we're also doing a dinner beforehand from 5 to 6:30, and we're going to Graham's going to be working his magic with the smoked pork slices, and then I do 𝐒𝐞𝐭 and coleslaw for one dinner, and the other dinner will be beef sliders and mac and cheese. So we're looking forward to people coming down on the 14th. So stop by on early and have a bite to eat before it's a wonderful, wonderful musician, and she has a great talent and a lovely story. I love listening to her stories.
Right. Very, very nice. Go ahead.
Okay, and then halfway to St. Patrick's Day, we're going to be with John Sullivan. And it's been a long road with him living in Canada, so he's going to be coming over celebrating St. Patrick's Day. And we're going to have a meal there from 6 to 8 p.m. We're going to be doing corned beef sliders with chips and coleslaw, and then sausage in a bun, baked beans, and got to have a pickle with sauce.
Sounds good. And what time does the entertainment start that night?
It starts at 8 p.m.
Okay.
So you might as well come out and have a bite to eat, help support the Gaelic League. We're trying to make aware that if we have food, more people will come down and everything, so we could possibly show that as a reason for grants for people to help us out with redoing the kitchen and everything. So we really appreciate coming down and enjoying some of our good I have great people in the kitchen working. So we have one more dinner, if you don't mind me saying.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, it's the Rome concert. They're lovely, and they're going to be starting at 7 p.m. We're selling tickets then for the concert, but we're off food from 4:30 to 6:30. And that day we're doing shepherd's pie with brown bread and potato soup with brown bread. So a lot of brown bread going on. And at each one of our events, we're going to have some desserts to go to. So fulfill those sweet teas that we got out there.
You're talking to me. Sounds good. Sounds great, really. So, well, thanks, Kathleen. We look forward to seeing you and enjoying the food that you're preparing with others. And just want to say thanks for all the time and talent you give. You're the best when it comes to
well, we have a lot
making
of
things happen, you know?
Yep, a lot of volunteers down there. So anyways, you guys, great Sunday. I'm at my niece's son's baptism today out in Pinckney, so I'm going to leave you now. Share into the gladness of the baptism. So,
well, very nice. Safe travels and enjoy the rest of your day. Okay.
God bless. Bye-bye.
Yep. Thank you. That was Kathleen Pertica, and before that was Sheila Maloney. And now we're going to get into these couple of songs, kind of a new thing. The first one is being sung by Philomena Begley, a name that we're all familiar with, been around a long time. But this is, she's having a brand new album released. It's called the Diamond Collection, that's due out on October 7th. And this song is Half the Chance. And she says it's reflecting back on her life, and would you want to do that again? One of the biggest country stars ever in Ireland. She turned to Derek Ryan with the idea about the song, and Derek took it from there and wrote the words and the music. And it says, Derek just captured by emotions, perfect in this song. So Philomena says she looks forward to a busy time ahead with the brand new album and a big birthday, as she's going to be turning 80 years old and celebrating in Bundoran in October. So with that song, Half the Chance by Philomena Begley, we also have a new album, and how fitting that it arrived this week as well. It's Derek Ryan, which was just mentioned. The album is Made of Gold, and this was sent to me by Ellen Quinlivan, who now lives in the UP. She said she was singing along the Derek Ryan CD for the song on it called Irish Heart. Her husband, the late Frank Quinlivan, past president of the Gaelic League, died it was during COVID, maybe 2 years. And Ellen finally was able to go back to Ireland, to where he was from, Ballyvaughan, for a memorial service with his family and cremain burial. And his sister, Teresa Quinlivan, has a beautiful voice. And she said Teresa sang this song, Irish Heart, at the memorial. And so here we are. We're going to share it today. And in remembering another loved one, Frank Quinlivan, or your own family members and friends that were from Ireland and thought about going home, we also want to remember Mary Agnes Cullen Bryan on her death, and funeral arrangements being tomorrow out in Brighton, and then funeral mass on Tuesday. We'll have a listen.
I've been down the road
1,000 times or two, traveling every journey like it is brand new. When they throw the dice of life, who knows where it will land? But I'd do it all again, given half a chance. I've seen some hard times, but that's just how it goes. No one gets around without a few of those. There's a lesson to be learned in every circumstance, but I'd do it all again, given half a chance. Half a chance, half a chance. Life passes by while we are making plans. Oh, how the years do fly. If I could turn back time, I'd grab it with both hands. Yes, I'd do it all again, given half a chance. Lord knows I've got some miles on the clock by now, but life is for living, not for lying down. Don't you try to think that I've made my last stand, 'cause I'll do it all again, given half a chance. Half a chance, half a chance. Life passes by while we are making plans. Oh, how the years do fly. If I could turn back time, I'd grab it with both hands. Yes, I'd do it all again, given half a chance. Half a chance, half a chance. Life passes by while we are making plans. Oh, how the years do fly. If I could turn back time, I'd grab it with both hands. Yes, I'd do it all again, given half a chance. I'll do it all again, given half a chance.
Okay, we're going to take a break between the two songs because we do have our good friend Pat O'Hare that's called in. Pat, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, Kathleen, and how are you?
Very, very good. And I know you have news to share with our listeners, so go ahead.
Okay, I just wanted to let everybody know that on September the 24th, the Knights of Equity and Daughters of Erin are having our annual Irish Gala dinner honoring the Irish Goodwill Community Ambassador this year. And this year it's Kevin Murphy, who's done so much for the Irish community, and as have others in the past. And so we'd like to invite everybody out for an evening. We're going to have a dinner. It's at 6:30. We're going to have it's a catered buffet dinner. All the proceeds go to benefit the AOH Building Corporation. It's important to keep all these Irish buildings open. It's a $20 cash donation at the door. It's casual dress. It's at the AOH Hall at 25305 Mile Road in Redford. And we're also going to be honoring 6 scholarship recipients to the University of Detroit. We're giving away 6 scholarships between $2,000 and $5,000 this year to 6 individuals. And we'd like to invite everybody to come and join us for an evening of fun, and especially to honor our Goodwill Ambassador, Kevin Murphy.
Excellent. So how can people get tickets?
They can buy them at the door or contact the Knights of Equity. I'll give you their email address. It's Knights of Equity, KNIGHTSOFEQUITY@AOL.com. So Knights of Equity at AOL.com. Just to make a reservation, we'd like to get a good idea of how many people are coming. But you can pay at the door.
Well, very good. $20, and what a nice night. I know I've been there in the past, and we're happy to be honoring Kevin Murphy. Kevin Murphy has done so much in the community, and it's nice. He's also being honored at the Motor City, or not Motor City, he is part of Motor City, the Michigan Irish Festival out in Muskegon this week is one of the Michigan Irish Hall of Fame inductees. So
yes, it's great for Kevin. He certainly deserves it.
Right. So very good. We appreciate you calling in, Pat. Any other thing you want to share with us right now?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said, was there anything else that you want to? Okay.
That's it. Just wish everybody a great week, and God bless everybody.
All right, very good.
Thank you very much, Kathleen.
And we should remind people there is an UIS meeting coming up this week at Monaghan, so maybe we'll see you there as well.
Yes, I plan on being there.
All right, good enough.
Okay.
Stay
Thank you
well.
very much.
Yep, God bless. With that, we'll go into our second song, which is by Derek Ryan, remembering all our loved ones' Irish heart.
My faithful friends, it's been so long since I sailed away from my own native home, but Ireland's always been here on my mind. And oh, what I'd give just to be there one more time. I'll always have an Irish heart, no matter where I go. I know where I came here from, my homeland, and I will never be far apart, for I'll always have an Irish heart. My faithful friends, my time has come to leave this world and to enter God's home. I pray He'll fly me high, He'll understand. I need to say goodbye to my Ireland. I'll always have an Irish heart, no matter where I go. I know where I came here from, my homeland, and I will never be far apart, for I'll always have an Irish heart. an Irish heart.
Very, very nice. We once again want to thank Ellen Quinlivan for providing the music and bringing back some wonderful memories of times gone by. And I had mentioned her earlier, she was the one that took up the lead with Sheila Maloney and started the pub quizzes long ago. So being remembered today and remembering her husband, Frank, as well. I also want to take a moment and thank those that are listening that have checked in and shared that they were listening, including Stacy Skinador, Mark Hurley, Stephen Zanetti, Maureen Root, and Kat Heineck, and those that I may have missed, but I appreciate you not only listening, but letting us know that you're listening. If you have any requests, those that have checked in or not, we would appreciate those either through the Detroit Irish Radio Facebook page, messaging, or you can always text or email, and the text number is 313-942-0159, or email DetroitIrishRadio@gmail.com. Well, this next one is a new song for us as well. We got an email from a Jack McCracken. And just a little bit about him. He was born in Belfast, and he's a writer and performer who is currently living in New South Wales, Australia. But his story takes you back. He says, many years ago when I was traveling, I met a wee girl from Detroit in New Orleans. She was selling trinkets in a little street stall she had set up, and she wasn't enjoying life down there very much. Lonely and lost, she often said she longed to be back home in Detroit. I came back to New Orleans about 6 months later and looked for her, but she wasn't there. I asked some of her acquaintances, and they told me she finally made enough money to go back home. So what Jack McCracken has done is written a song about this girl. So those of you in this area of Detroit that are listening, you may well know that person. Perhaps it's yourself that was down in New Orleans, met a young musician named Jack McCracken from Belfast. Well, he didn't forget you, and he wrote a song. So this could also be part of that genealogy group that has resumed their monthly sessions. Maybe someone will know who they're talking about, and we can reconnect them. It said, he mentions that he hoped that the song was relevant to the program and left some information for further information if need be, if we want to connect with him. And he said there's also more on the website. He is a member of the Australian Music Radio Airplay Project. His name is Jack McCracken. The song is The Return.
Because when you feel that life has dealt you a real bum hand, and when nothing's worked out like you planned, and your confidence is all gone, and your pride, your self-respect are in pawn, then something's telling you to reach down, way down, inside. And take a look at who you are, what you've become, and all of the things you could be. When you feel in your bones the time's come to go home, then give thanks to the Lord, girl, 'cause you're free. Free from the drifting, the lonesome, and the empty, and the shallowness, and the wasting of a fine life reduced. by a whole welter of worthless bullshit, and by people that are full of it. But that's all in the past now. Praise the Lord. Cause you got that ticket in your hand, and you're stepping on board, and the miles start speeding by. You're going home. The future's a mystery, the past a mess, and there's a tear of desperation in your eye. Till you find yourself standing back on the street you were born, a lost soul like out of some continental movie, unsure and alone. Then you start seeing places and old familiar faces, and these faces say simply, "Hey girl, welcome home." Then the family comes out, sort of quiet like, and the wee uns come crowding round, and old friends drop by to share a jar, a story, and a song. Ah, girl, the friendships you yearned for, and the love that you sought, they were waiting for you, right here, all along. And on that first Sunday morning, with family, to church, as the memories of the bad times recede, distant, gone, our heads start to feel a bit like a light bulb that she's finally found the sense to turn on. And that old time religion, Lord, it kicks her like a mule. Raw, no frills, no front, no lies, and no snake oil gurus parading around the place in Gucci shoes. Just some old-fashioned preacher with the love of God shining in his eyes. Then the piano kicks in, and the choir starts to sing. As the congregation, the whole place erupts into song, gospel style. And she stands there glowing in the sweet Sunday morning Detroit light, 'cause she's back in the place she belongs. What she once thought was cornball now seems so natural and right, like nothing's ever been before. The whole of her life, her family, her people, her future, her roots, never more to roam, 'cause she made it. She made it. Lord, this girl made it home.
All right, so that was Jack McCracken with the title song, The Return. Maybe someone knows somebody that was down in New Orleans many years ago. Just a little reminder too that the UIS, as I had mentioned, is having their meeting at Monaghan this coming Thursday at 7:30. Should be a busy schedule with all these things resuming. And then the Michigan Irish Festival is in Muskegon this weekend. Once again, congratulations to Kevin Murphy and Aaron and Dave Keane being honored and inducted into the Michigan Irish American Hall of Fame in Muskegon this coming Saturday. Next Sunday, there is the on Gorta Moor, the Great Hunger Famine Memorial, being held at 2 p.m. at the St. Joseph Shrine in the Irish Hills. And after the service, there will be music and presentations. If you want more information, then the AOH group put on this event annually. Give Phil a call at 517-260-9016. And I think we have time to get in do we get 2 songs?
Those
okay.
2.
And I guess I have to say goodbye though, right? I was going to recap, but go back and listen to the show if you need to catch things. I thank you for tuning in to Detroit Irish Radio at 𝐾Radio.com, 𝐶RBradio.com. This has been your host, Kathleen O'Neill, along with my friend Bruce Smith. We look forward to many more call-ins and guests. Thank you to Sheila and to Porrick Egan, to Kathleen Partika and Pat O'Hare for all calling today. Keep all that are in poor health in your prayers. Until next week, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Hope to see you Wednesday for Aoife Scott's concert in the halfway to St. Patrick's Day on Saturday. Seachtain Why Give Galair. We're going to go out with Nick Spillin with Danny Boy and follow it with a bit of music from Black Murray.
Awesome. Okay, sorry, Danny.